What are the potential responses that you can see in the Bible when God asks you to go? I did a lot of thinking about this. Number one, response one, you reject the mission. You just reject it outright. And you run from the Lord and his will for you. Jonah 1's a classic illustration. Now, the word of the Lord came to Jonah, saying, arise and go to Nineveh. That's a pretty clear mission. That great city, what do you want me to do there? And cry out against it, for their wickedness has come up before me. Is that a clear delegation of a mission? But Jonah arose to flee from Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. Can human beings reject the mission? God says, go this way. No, I'm going this way. Yes. How many have ever done that? The rest of you are lying. That's a pretty interesting observation for all of us. There's not one of us that haven't rejected a mission. Maybe the real issue isn't if we have, but maybe the real point is, will it be less and less frequently that you say no? And will you ever get to the point in which, regardless of what it is, your answer is, let me process this, but the answer is going to be yes. Number two, response two, you accept the mission and you complete it successfully. Paul had one of the hardest missions of anybody in history. I don't know of anybody that suffered as much as he did except for Christ in his death. But when you look at everything that happened to him in Corinthians and how many times it happened and how many, I don't know of anybody. There may have been greater severity of a crisis, but I don't know of anybody that suffered as many times as he did. But none of these things, said Paul, move me, nor do I count my life dear to myself. Why not? If I count my life dear to me, I want to protect it, then I really won't say yes. I have to give away my life so that I may finish my race with joy and the ministry which I received from the Lord Jesus to testify to the gospel of the grace of God. At the end of his life, he said this, I have, past tense, fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. There was a man who finished the whole thing. I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. I don't think there are very many people who finish the good works God prepared for them to do. Paul said, I am afraid of being disqualified by not finishing my race. Here's a man who had been to the third heaven and saw what it's all about. And he realized, man, I have been sent here to do these things, and there's a lot of them, and I got to strive and work hard. You aren't asked to walk your race. You've been asked to run your race. And it's my conviction, very few believers finish their race. It's not easy to do. May you be one of them that does finish your race. And may you be a person that time after time volunteers. And the adventure of it all. Oh my goodness. Number 3. This is a good one. You evaluate the mission, request further information, and then act. You evaluate the mission, request further information, and then act. I want to balance this. If you have humility in your conversation with God, and if you, now listen to these words carefully, if you have pre-committed that if this is clear, I will do this. You can request further information without irritating God. I've done this a few times in my life where I've said to God, I'm a little bit unsure about this. Can you give me some time? Every time I've asked, I've gotten an okay with that. In other words, I've had peace about in asking that. I haven't had a check in my heart like, So sometimes you have to process through what it is to deal with it. It's better to do that than to reject the mission and run away. So take a look at how this worked with one man. So the Lord said to Ananias, "Arise and go to the street called Straight, and inquire at the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he's praying." And then Ananias answered, "Lord, can we reevaluate this?" That's what he's doing. Why? "Lord, I have heard from many, not just a couple people, but a lot of people have told me about this, Lord, about this man. I've heard about this man, and I don't know if you know all the details. I don't know if you know how much harm he has done to your saints. Lord, they are yours. I don't know if you know about how many people have died because of this man in Jerusalem." And here he has the authority from the chief priest to bind all who call on your name. So not only has he hurt a lot of people, where I'm living right now, the holy priest has given him all of the political authority to do it right here. And you're asking me to go to him? God, you sure you want to do this? That's what's going on. Now, it's very instructive, I think, how God reacted to him. You know, he didn't strike him dead. But the Lord said to him, "Go." Still said the same thing, "Go. For he is a chosen vessel of mine to bear my name before the Gentile kings and the children of Israel." And he didn't really answer the question, did he? He didn't. And Ananias went his way and entered the house. Number 4, you accept the mission, but disobey God's instructions and you compromise. We showed you that in Saul. This is about Moses. When God was asking him to lead the people out. This is an amazing little story, but he said, "Oh, my Lord, please, God, send by the hand of somebody else. Don't send me. Send somebody else that you may send." So the anger of the Lord was ticked off at Moses. And he said, "Is not Aaron the Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well, so he shall be your spokesman to the people, and he himself shall be as a mouth to you." What happened here? God's mission wasn't for Aaron. And Moses, even though God reacted to him a number of times in a row about this, "What do you mean? Who made man's mouth? I made your mouth like this. Why are you giving me a hard time?" "No, I don't want to do this. Send somebody else." Because of his compromise, Aaron was given authority, and Aaron was the one that built the golden calf in the wilderness. And maybe that would have never happened if Aaron hadn't been appointed because Moses compromised the mission. I don't know. I'd like to go to part 3. Part 3 is a very challenging question. I want you to look up here for a minute because I want to talk to you directly about this. I'm a theologian, and I've studied theology for 13 years professionally in school and graduate school and so forth. And then I've been reading the Bible for many years. One of the things I want to do is I want to understand God. And I want to understand how life works so I can better serve him. Sometimes you come upon a verse that you can't figure out. How can God be sovereign over all things? Because he is. How can man have a free will? Because he does. I don't know. You can't have a sovereign God that has free will. And you can't have free will if God's sovereign. But that's what the Bible teaches. It's arrogant to feel you have to have the ability to put what God says is true together if he doesn't want you to put it together. Both of these are true. And denominations twist verses out of the scripture that believe just this and not this. And other denominations take other verses and twist those verses to make all this happen. No, not really sovereignty. No, not really free will. And both of them are wrong. It's both is true. And they won't accept it because there's arrogance in them. The Bible does teach both of them. What I want to read to you now, I don't understand. But I know it's to be true because it's what it says. Here's the question. Isn't it interesting that God says, who can we send? And then there's a second question. Who will go for us? Because it appears that not everyone will go. let's take it to an extreme. What would happen if God has a really big-time mission that's really big to him? And he starts asking people, will you go? No. Will you go? No. Can I send you? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yeah, but this. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Until he's gone everywhere. And not one person says yes. Could that be true? Why am I bringing this thought up? Because of our thoughts. What are our thoughts? Our thoughts are this. If God asks me and I don't want to, and I say no, God can raise somebody else to do it. Okay, that's something I've wondered years ago. Is that true? Is there always, in a sovereign, all-powerful God, is there always somebody who says yes? Because we think the answer is, of course. But there's a text in the Bible which says precisely the opposite, and it is absolutely not. Take a look at it. It's Ezekiel chapter 22, and I have it here on the flip chart because it's so important. This is God speaking the entire way. Israel, Israel's princes in her midst are like wolves tearing the prey. Look at that. They're not serving the people. They're like wolves to shed blood, to destroy the people. My goodness. And to get dishonest gain. Her prophets plastered them with untempered mortar, seeing false visions and divining lies for them, saying, thus says the Lord God, when the Lord had not spoken. They're lying. So it's the princes, it's the prophets, it's the people. The people of the land have used oppressions, committed robbery, and mistreated the poor and the needy, and they wrongfully oppressed the stranger. So what is all this? This is a massive amount of sin and cultural rebellion against God. So the question is, okay, what's going to happen next? Well, if you read the chapters before this, you would realize it's worse than this. So God comes on and says, let me tell you what I did with what I found out. So, because all these things are true, I sought something. I started looking for a man among them. Among whom? The entire nation of Israel. What do you want the man to do? I would like him to do something for me. Who would make a wall and stand in the gap before me? You want somebody to stand in the gap before you? Yes, between me and the people of Israel. What do you want the man to do? I want him to talk to me on behalf of the land. I want him to talk to me about the people of the land on behalf of them, represent them to me. Oh, well, God, what do you want to happen? That I should not destroy it, because the sins are so bad. I'm going to destroy it. Why do you want a man? Because I don't want to destroy it. I love the people. I don't want to do this. And I want somebody to do what Moses did with me when I said I was going to kill them all. And then Moses got in between me and the people and said, please don't do it. Please don't kill them all. No, I'll make out of you, Moses, a great nation. No, please don't do that. What will the people of Egypt say? They will say about you, you were strong enough to take them out of Egypt, but you weren't strong enough to bring them into the promised land. It'll ruin your reputation. He's negotiating with God. Same thing Abraham did with Sodom and Gomorrah. So God hunted everywhere. And the biggest, this is such a traumatic verse. But I found no one. I couldn't find one person to do this for me. And because I couldn't find anybody to stand in the gap on behalf of the people and negotiate me, therefore, I have poured out my indignation on them. I have consumed them with fire of my wrath, and I have recompensed their deeds on their own heads, says the Lord. Did that change the destiny of Israel? Absolutely it did. Did God want a human being to negotiate with him? Yes. Could he find even one? Not even one. Not even one. We were shooting a Hollywood movie in Africa about a little Zulu boy whose parents died of AIDS. And we had a very poignant little scene in downtown Johannesburg in the middle of the dead of winter. Now, what shocked me is how cold it gets in Johannesburg. I mean, it gets freezing. And we had to shoot before the traffic began, and we went downtown at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they put up a tent with little gas heaters in it so that the cameramen could move their hands and so forth. And I got down there, and there were police all over the place. We expected maybe 1 or 2 police cars to help us with the traffic, but there was a lot. And I walked into the tent, and I said, it was the director of photography was there, and I said to him, "What's going on?" He said, I can't believe it." "You can't believe what?" "I can't believe we're shooting a movie about a little orphan boy. And what happened here last night? We didn't see it till this morning. What happened?" He said, "You know, we're going to shoot the little Zulu boy crossing from that corner across to this corner and getting on the truck." "Yeah, I know." So do you know what happened on that corner? On the very corner in this city, on this day, a little orphan boy froze to death on that corner last night. And he got teary. He was pretty emotional. He said, "How can you say there's a loving God when he lets that thing happen?" And I turned to him and I said, "Sir, if you knew how many people God showed that little boy to and told them to put a blanket or get him a coat or take him home, and how many people in a row said no, you would retract your statement immediately." I sought for a person and I could find not one. Part number 4, how to escape the ordinary and volunteer for a divine mission. How do you do this? I want you to look up here for a minute and don't take notes for a minute. How do you escape the ordinary? How do you escape the ordinary and volunteer for a divine mission? What would it be like if you lived this way? That the supernatural was normal for you. That you watch God do things in you and through you for other people. That when you left, you walked away like I did with Dave, having given that lady that money. That was a miracle to me. It was definitely a miracle to her. A miracle doesn't have to break the laws of nature. When Christ calmed the storm, that didn't break a law of nature. That storm, the sea would have calmed down eventually. It was just when it calmed down, made it when they caught all that fish, they caught netfuls of fish before. That wasn't a breaking of the laws of nature. That was how it happened and when it happened. Right then, put it on the other side. Whoa, you're the Son of God. Why? That's what it's like. So how do you do this? How can you make it so that you're like that man in the suit with the tie that said, "First time in my life, God talked to me. He told me where to go and what to do." I want you to think about the word escape. Don't write any notes. Just think for me. How to escape? First thing you want to do, is you want to enter the throne room of God. Don't take any notes, just listen. You enter the throne room of God, because that's where God is. I saw God sitting on the throne, so you enter the throne room of God. When you pray, you're not entering the throne room of God. You're praying. You want to picture yourself walking in the throne room of God, because the New Testament teaches that because of the blood of Christ, the doors to the throne room are opened, and you can come boldly into the throne room because of Christ's blood, not because of you. And you are to come, just enter the throne room. Enter it yourself. Okay, what are you supposed to do? You'll find it to be very peaceful. Just walk up toward the front and tell God what you want. Please send me on a mission. You're not there for a long conversation. You are there with a specific request. Enter the throne room. Send me on a mission. Send me on a mission. So, what do you do next? Well, these are my own suggestions. Tell God what you commit. I commit to finish the mission. Pre-commit. Pre-commit. I commit to finish the vision. Enter the throne room. Send me on a mission. Commit to finish the mission. Now, the reason why we become afraid is because we don't realize fully who our partner is on earth, and we'll be dealing with this in the last 4 sessions. It is the Holy Spirit. And he's the one who is given responsibility to make sure we follow through and complete the mission. And when you become afraid, it's because you're not trusting the Holy Spirit. That's why you're afraid. If you could see into the spirit realm, you would have no fear. You'd have no, why am I afraid if he's right here? So announce your dependence on the Spirit. I just out loud, and it's in your own mind. I announce to the Spirit, I'm depending upon you. So you enter into the throne room. Yeah. Send me on a mission. I commit to finish the mission. You announce your dependency upon the Spirit. Now, what does God want from a mission? He wants the people to realize that God was behind it all and that he gets credit for it. We call giving God credit glory. It's a promise to give God glory. Because you are the one, when you're meeting with the person, that you want to bring the person to the point that they realize it wasn't just you, that God was behind it, and he did it because he loves you and tried to meet what your need was at the time. I'll teach you about that. So you're promising to give God the glory, and then you exit the throne room. Picture yourself leaving, coming back down to the earth. You exit with joy and anticipation. You just exit with, all right, I've asked. He has lots of missions, as you'll find out later, lots of missions that he can't get anybody to do. God doesn't have to, say, oh no, I don't have any missions left. He's got millions of missions left that he can't find people to deal with. So I want to think about escaping the ordinary. Just listen for a minute here. Escape the ordinary. Escape. E-S-C-A-P-E. E. Enter the throne room of God. E. Enter the throne room of God. Escape. E. Next letter. S. Send me on a mission. E-S-C. What are you going to commit? Commit to finish the mission. E-S-C-A. Announce. You're dependent upon the Spirit. Announce it. Why? Just don't think it. It helps you to actually say it. I announce to the Spirit, I trust you, and I'm going to live in dependence of you. E-S-C-A-P. What are you going to promise? Say again? Yeah, you promise to give God glory. And E. Exit. With what? Joy and anticipation. Take a look at your workbook. Let's fill this out. Number 1, enter the throne room. Number 2, send me on a mission. Commit to finish the mission. Announce your dependence on the Spirit. Promise to give God the glory. Exit with joy and anticipation.